Hey everybody, those who chat with me off of the, besides just YouTube, probably know that I've been obsessing over getting a ring fan ever since I got that new in-box Dayton that I thought would be a ring fan and turned out to be the 3-speed 48-inch version. The box is, I believe, right there. I did the video of it, but it was rather underwhelming. It went very slow and did not move a lot of air, and I'm told that that's normal for the 3-speed version. So ever since then I've been really kind of wanting to compare the ring fan to the other industrial 56-inch fans that we've been testing, the cast iron version of the same thing, the gold lines, etc., etc. And this morning, fellow fan collector and good friend of mine, Andy, and I pulled this out of a community center. And there's a video of us taking it down. It was about 20 feet up in the air, right over 2 HVAC ducts, so only a skinny ladder could fit up there, and it was quite the experience. And had a balloon stuck in it all the way deep down into the bearings. You can still see some little blue marks on it. That's balloon residue that did not come off. I will be able to get it off eventually with some steel wool and WD-40. But this is what I could do with paper towels. Totally awesome in WD-40. I didn't want to clean it up too much and risk, I want to be real careful when I did that. I didn't have time to do that today. So, pulling the balloon out of the bearing and bypassing the control, I'll show you, in addition to a variable speed control, where is it? It was hooked to this key-operated switch, and then this variable speed control. I actually took it out of there so I could take a look at it and see what it was, but the variable speed control was in there as well. And when I bypassed this whole assembly, the fan ran, even though it didn't run very fast because the balloon was stuck in it. So I'm wondering if the variable speed control is fine, it's just the key switch was off and nobody had the key. Which I'm glad about, because that balloon would have gotten further lodged in there, and then it would have stopped entirely. Bearings would have been shot. Eventually the windings would have been toasted, and it would have been a sad, sad story. But as a result, we have it cleaned up well. Been trying to determine what year it's from. You can see from an earlier video, it's actually the leading edge model, not the Dayton relabeled model. Dayton sold these through Grainger. Dayton is Grainger's house brand. You probably know that from previous videos. And this was their very common commercial model that they sold. They bought them from Leading Edge. And they didn't show up in the Grainger catalog until mid to late 80s. But the community center was built in either 80 or 81. Andy, do you remember which one? 80 or 81? Were you there when he said?
No, I couldn't remember which one.
The current director of the center had been with them since it was built, and he said the fan was put in when the center was built, which either would have been 80 or 81. So if that is true, then it makes sense that it wouldn't be a Dayton version, because Dayton didn't sell them. It would have been the leading edge version, which it is. But we still have no other evidence that Leading Edge made them this early. So, it's possible he's mistaken. The capacitor is dated 1978. The serial number has the numbers 80, 88, and 81 in it, so that's no help. With the two cast iron ones that I have that are Leading Edge, the 60 and the 56, that are right here, both these were bought together, installed together, and then sold to me together. And serial numbers on them, the only number they have in common is 85, so I feel pretty confident in saying these are from 85. One has a capacitor from 75, and the other one has a capacitor from, I can't remember, somewhere in the 80s. If you go to my video on it, I'm pretty sure I say, but I don't remember now. So, anyhow, we're still trying to figure out exactly just how old this is. Unless I have further information, I'm going to assume that the director is correct and it was put in 80 or 81. So, got the amp meter. It's rated for 0.94 amps, but it's also rated for 94 watts, and if you do the math at 120 volts, that should be less than 0.94 amps, so...
0.78.
Yeah, 0.78 amps. Andy, by the way, is in this video. This is his first time joining me on a commercial fan testing video. He's helped me out on many of the more collectible fans in my other shop. But he's been a part of this process since we took down the fan. I'm glad to have him with me here. So, amp meter, 4-speed control. Started out on low, and it is drawing 0.26 amps. And that does very well with the 4-speed control, if I do say so myself. That's a nice...
That's your kind of low speed.
Yeah, I wouldn't even mind it being any slower than that, but I'm happy with that. I'm told that these go a lot slower than the cast iron version, but I get to see for myself today, which I have not powered it up fully on high with the blades yet, so this is exciting. Accidentally powered it up without the blades. I plugged it in not knowing that the extension cord was hot, and so it's a classy low speed. I'm feeling a little bit of air movement from it, but nothing, not any breeze or anything like that. You feeling anything, Andy?
Yeah, just a little bit of air movement.
A little bit of air movement. We're still at 0.26. Let's move up the ladder. Medium low, excuse me. And right now we're at 0.54. It's jumping up rather quickly. I think a lot of the other fans are around 0.4 something at medium low, and they don't go quite this fast, so definitely seems to be a little bit less powerful than some of the other ones. One thing I've been finding, Andy, is that the more current it draws on high, the more powerful it is on high, the slower it is on the other speeds, and the less current it draws on the other speeds. I want to make sure that seems pretty fast for medium low. I'm going to make sure that was medium low. That's yeah. So I guess this is not a great candidate for the 4-speed control, because medium low is already kind of fast. Let's go to medium high. We're at 0.72. This is a stamped steel motor and steel blades. I've never understood why companies put a less powerful motor and kept the heavy steel blades. Even Envirofan, Silverlines have a stamped steel motor and they have steel blades, but the gold lines have aluminum blades. I'm getting a pretty good breeze from it now, Andy. How about you?
I'm actually not feeling too much where I am. I feel about the same as low.
Really? I feel quite a bit more.
Yeah, it's right about here.
Well, we're at 0.70. Let's go up to high and see how we do.
Here's the breeze line right
It made a little jump there at high, but it wasn't a big difference. Medium, high, and high are pretty similar. We're at 0.76 on the amp meter. It's been a while since I've tested one of the cast ones. It's not... I was expecting it to be a lot slower than this, frankly, just based on how the 3-speed one performed. That 3-speed one was abysmally slow, and that was brand new in the box, capacitor good, everything. This is pretty decent, I think. I don't think it's quite as fast as the... So what I typically do in these videos, I don't know how many of them you've seen, I go right under the fan. I got a breeze from it right under the fan, but it's not super impressive. At least not to me. And then usually I kneel down right about here. Sometimes I forget to do that to see if you're at a normal distance. Yeah, I'm not getting a whole lot from it.
Yeah, this is about where I was.
Yeah, I was getting more over there in the chair than I am there, and then I go back to right about here. Well, I can tell you, it definitely moves less than the cast versions do. It's interesting. No, I'm getting, actually, I remember I told you, Andy, about how sometimes the straight-bladed industrials, you get like gusts of air as opposed to steady breeze. Yeah. If I wait a little bit, I get some gusts of air here. It's nothing. I still think it's less than the
it's still moving that
water bottle. Why don't you do what I was doing and kneel right here and see if you can feel what I'm talking about. This will be the first time anybody else has a... Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's bringing it. It's bringing the low.
The crazy thing is with the gold lines, at least with the newer gold lines that go faster than the older ones do,
yeah, you can...
It's very sporadic. It's not even. But with the curved blade gold lines, if you kneel right there, you literally feel like there's a box fan blowing right at you, but underneath the fan, almost nothing. But the really cool thing is with the 60-inch gold line and with the 60-inch leading edge, if you're right there, it's like it's gusts, but it's like gusts that'll knock you over. But I do find it interesting that with most of the commercial fans, you get more air 15 feet away than you do directly under it. It's not true.
That's the way they're designed.
That is. It's not true with the commercial fans that have the residential blades, like blender fans, the heat cycler. What other commercial fan did I test that had? Those are the Stratojet even, which does have commercial blades. So, okay, well, I'm very pleased to be introducing a ring fan into my industrial and commercial fan testing video set. Let's power it down. When it's done spinning down, you know what I'm going to do, Andy, is I have another solid-state speed control that's already... No, it's not. I thought it was already wired to a cord, but it's not. I'm going to test it with a solid-state control since it didn't give me a great range of speeds.
This one's weird.
Those are two different capacitor controls that have different values, but they're I'm really impressed at how good these bearings are, given that they had balloon all in them. I didn't put any WD-40 in them or anything.
Is this the one you ordered?
That is. Here, if you want to, I'm going to hold the phone camera. I've already unhooked this from power. If you want to just replace that with this. And I'll... The only thing I don't know is where the low-speed trim is set on that control. So and we might have to run downstairs and get a eyeglass screwdriver for low-speed trimming. Yeah, I really don't understand why I didn't care for these fans for so many years. I'm looking at it, and that's a classy industrial fan. The little ring in the center makes it cool. When I was a kid, I liked them, but when I was a kid, I saw them everywhere. I took a brief video, but the quality was terrible. You know, the post office by Hilldale has these in brown.
Okay.
And it's one of the only places that anyone has ever seen them in brown. The only other place that people have seen them in brown is there used to be a couple welcome centers in Michigan that had them in brown that I coincidentally saw as well, and somebody else reminded me. But I would really like to find one in brown.
There's not a whole lot of wire sticking out on these.
Should be enough. Which is it? On the control or on the?
Yeah, on the control.
Oh, I mean, if we need
I
to.
think it should work.
Yeah, it should be enough.
This just kind of made it hard to get a grip.
I mean, we could have traded, I guess. You could have held the video camera, and I could have done that. I didn't think about that until now.
It's got more wire on it.
Probably broke off the other one.
There we go.
It's already a 13-minute video, probably because I was talking so much at the beginning. My wife was complaining about some of the people she watches on YouTube and saying that they ramble too much about unrelated topics. And I said, well, I do that too. And she said, no, you usually tell the story that goes with it, but you don't. So hopefully she's right, and I am not rambling too much. We'll find out with the comment section on this video, I guess. See, it's off, right? Because I don't want to spoil. We're almost done with spinning down. I don't want to spoil that.
Oh, it's still been going this whole time? Wow.
Yeah. I told you the bearings are remarkably good for the poor life that they lived. Okay, let's power up with the solid state control. Let's see where we're at if I go all the way. No, we need to. Okay, so you wanna? I'll run down and get an eyeglass screwdriver. I guess you can just film it at this speed.
We'll be doing our low speed trimming here. We got us some buzz already.
Ladies and gentlemen, Andy. He'll be here all night. I brought a few different sizes.
Okay.
I couldn't recall exactly what it used. And I hope that one of these sizes is going to do me.
Now that I actually know how to use your phone camera, you should be able to.
Interestingly enough, the very lowest setting on this does not appear to be slow enough.
Well, that's what our trim is for.
Well, I'm saying the trim is set to the lowest setting, and it's still not.
Goodness.
So, let us try the control that we removed from it today. Only thing about using my phone camera, make sure you don't turn it upside down.
And you get the upside down video syndrome.
See, now that you did that, it might not go back.
Oh.
Sometimes the computer...
Well, it didn't seem to.
It does on the
change
screen, but YouTube sometimes catches you doing it one way and doesn't catch you doing it back and tries to correct for you.
Oh.
So hopefully the whole second half of this video isn't upside down.
Well, that's what editing is for.
Yeah. The other thing is, if it seems like it's out of focus.
Right. That's what I've been doing since you pointed that out to me.
Yeah. It's not the greatest mechanism, but it's what I got, and it's been going well so far. So that's power off right now. It's just spinning down slowly.
We don't do the vertical video syndrome here.
Yeah, like I said, worst case scenario, I'll edit it, but really hoping that it uploads perfectly by itself with no assistance. So I'm plugging it in.
Okay.
And we're going to try the control. We'll see if it even works. Unless I did something else wrong.
Oh, there's something.
Okay. It wasn't working for a while, but it did for a little bit, so let's stop it by hand and see if it needs trim adjusted.
Oh, it's taken off.
Yep, so I need to adjust the trim. Where's the... Yeah, different controls use different... The other one used a flathead. This one uses a Phillips. Okay. So I turn the trim down all the way. I'm going to stop it by hand. And I'm going to slowly turn it back up until the fan starts. Okay, it's probably going to stop again. I hear it buzzing, but I don't think it's going to keep going at that speed.
Well, I'll see.
Having the amp meter here is actually very helpful. I was able to watch the amp meter to see when I'm adjusting. And right now it's drawing 0.1 amps. Looks like it might stay at that speed. Let's see. It's pretty impressive if it does.
Yeah.
It's not normal.
Here comes another
stall out.
Yeah.
Let me see if any of these control knobs will fit that control so I can more accurately gauge what setting it's on. So also seems like I was right that the control itself was fine and the key switch was off. Okay, so that's our low with the control. 0.11 amps now. I'm going to turn it a quarter turn. So this would be the equivalent of medium low. We're now at 0.2 amps. Still slower and less current draw than it was with the lowest speed on the 4-speed control. It does buzz a little bit with the solid state control though. So if I was going to install this someplace and it was just going to be one fan on one control, I would probably make my own control like I did with the 36-inch gold line. Okay, let's go another quarter turn to medium high. We're at 0.44 now. What do you think, Andy? We put this in your living room instead of the Whisperwind 2000. I think it'd look classy in there.
It's pretty classy for an industrial, but the Whisperwind is pretty classy itself.
Yeah, I like the Whisperwind. Whisperwind video is probably uploaded by now, so as soon as I can get to a computer and publish it, then yeah, that's a much better speed for medium-high. A little slow for medium-high for me, but much better than the Controls medium-high, which was...
Let me come down here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to do what I've never done before and turn it an eighth of a turn and see what we get for that. We get 0.62. And because I'm OCD, even though we've already seen it in high, I can't stop the video with the fan moving anymore. So I've got to let it go all the way up to high and let it spin down again. My OCD will not allow me to end the video sooner.
Okay.
We're at 0.73. I don't remember what we were at before.
What's our cutoff? 0.78?
Well, that's what the wattage would indicate, but I think it was drawing 0.76 in the last video. Maybe I'm mistaken, or maybe it's the filtering in the control. We're going to power off now. And once again, we get to witness it spin down. I'm going to come over here and look at it from this angle. Here, since you're actually... Let's see if this... Does that help?
Suppose.
I have yet to figure out ideal lighting for doing videos here.
Right, because you want light on your subject, but without being backlit and without, you know,
So a lot of shadows, not a lot of glare.
the glare from the backlighting is usually your biggest problem.
Yeah. Well, then the problem with this room here is that this is just all unfinished wood, which soaks up light like
Yes.
nothing else.
That is
And
true.
these power bulbs were a great idea when it comes to getting more light in here for working, but not for videos. Then again, the regular bulbs that were there before probably be even more glare in videos, so who knows. I think all my uplighting was nice, though. I'm pleased with all of that. You can tell that Andy works in film because his camera work is much better than mine.
Especially now that I know how to focus this thing.
Yeah. It's really, I mean, in some ways it's a pretty terrible camera, but in other ways I think it's really great for being a phone camera.
Yeah, I think for what it is, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen the rest of your videos. They're solid resolution-wise.
Yeah, well, I upload them in 1080 HD. Nothing but the best. So we got one more fan to assemble and test tonight. I'm not going to give away what it is. Although, I think if you, again, some people already know. But, this is actually the one I'm more excited about. Because like I said, I've been working on getting a ring fan for a long time. I have left my number at multiple businesses throughout town. There's only, well, I say multiple, there's only 1, 2, 3 that I know of that have ring fans remaining. But one was a lumber yard that had maybe a dozen of them, but in really bad shape, most of them with rust and missing the rings, and, you know. Then there's a high-end clothing store downtown that has 3 of them in mint condition, but they still use them. And frankly, they look really classy there, and so I almost hate to see them go, although they did seem interested in selling them to me, so we'll find out. And then there's a auto shop that has 2 blender fans in one of these, although I think the one of these might be 48-inch. And They know to sell the fans to me if they ever want to get rid of them, but they don't want to get rid of them. I also know with a few places with 36-inch ones, but I don't like the 36-inch ones.
Still go up and stop.
Okay, well, thanks for watching the video, and got one more video to do. So
until next time.
Yep.
Stop.